wanting to get into real estate photography, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get started with this. I'm going to go over the most important things that you actually need to get going. Now, the most important thing that you're going to want to get is a wide-angle lens. Now, if you do have an APS-C sensor, you're going to want to account for the crop because the wider, the better. So that's why I got a 9mm laowa lens, because that has pretty much zero distortion in it. And that 9mm is going to be around 13.5 millimeters. I did start with a 16mm Sigma, but that was a little bit too compressed because that 16mm equals 24mm because of the crop. Now, if you do end up getting the laowa lens, that lens is full manual, which is not a big deal, especially in real estate photography, because you're going to put it at f8 or f9, and most of the frame is going to be in focus. Now, you might be looking up this lens thinking it's expensive at $400. Well, don't buy it brand new. Buy it used. That's what I do with all my gear. You can buy it used on MPB. I got a really good deal on mine for $160, and you can also get just about any gear that you want for your camera there as well. And I'll also show you the difference between my Sigma 16mm and the laowa 9mm, and you're going to see a huge difference. Now onto the second most important thing, which is going to be your tripod head. Not so much the tripod because that doesn't matter too much, but I know most tripods come with a ball head, but I need precision whenever it comes to making these fine adjustments so I can get vertical lines. So that's why I went with the NEEWER 3-way geared tripod head, and with that I can make those fine adjustments, and the build quality on this is amazing. I know a lot of people go with the Benro one, but that one costs $250, and this is the only piece of gear that I paid full price for at $150. Now, the only gripe that I have with this gear head is the boots that come on the knobs. I don't really like those because they tend to just slip off. It seems like it was an afterthought, so I just put some grip tape around the knobs and it resolved that. Now, in terms of the tripod I use, it doesn't really matter that much. I have an $80 Cambo photo one that I use sometimes. But if you shop around for used products, like on auction sites, B&H, Adorama, you can find some amazing deals. I did end up getting a SmallRig carbon fiber monopod with the tripod legs that cost $200. I ended up getting one for $60, and that is what I use for most of my shoots because I can get in some very tight spots with it. And if you're thinking, well, that's not very stable, well, for me, it is because I do put a 10-second timer on it. So, you know, just to remove any of those micro jitters that might happen after I push the shutter. Now, on to the last important thing, which is going to be your DSLR/mirrorless camera. You don't need to go out there and spend $2,000 on one of these because I personally use a Fujifilm X-T1, which came out in 2014, and I got that for like $400, and it's been a great camera, and it still is a very capable camera because it doesn't matter what gear you have. It matters on how well you can use that gear and how well you know your gear. And I did end up switching to an X-T30 Mark III because I won it at an auction site for $600. I do have to brag about that because I think that was an amazing deal for a brand new camera like that. If you are getting into real estate photography, just know that you can do it for well below $1,000. And like I said, it's not what you use, it's how you use it.